focus on that corridor issue. I will skip because of time limit. Okay, you can see that is a major literature related to ESER. Most of it is some regional development area, container transport, passenger ferry, shipping network, and economic corporations, and cultural exchanges. Right? So most existing literature applied to the descriptive method by interview. Right? That is one my motivation. Also, I'm trying to fill up such kind of research gap using the quantitative method. Also, I haven't seen papers, just I've seen a couple of papers touching upon the impact of Belt and Road in the ESER, but it's quite a few. Okay, methodology. I use the big data technology and the networking theory and the method. That is centrality, primary flow, class interactions. And then I'd like to investigate shipping flow and cargo flow. Okay, cargo flow. Based on the data structure, is AI's data, EDI data, distributed and the complex data. That is our research team have made so many efforts to build up this kind of data systems. Okay, that is tailored data entities to investigate port connectivity issues, ships flow and the cargo flow in the ESER. Also, I was selected 25 major ports. How have they 25 ports connected to maritime circle? Okay, that is 16 criteria under the 3 perspectives. And then, okay, I will skip this on time limit. That is a topological map of the railway network in China. And that is a topological map of the maritime Silk Road rails intermodal transport systems. I've already conducted a couple of case studies. One is recently I left RMIT University in Australia and I moved to Georgia University. So before I left, I conducted the impact of OBR on Australian region. That is some port connectivity issues. And then also I applied my model to Japanese port side. Right? There is some primary flows between Chinese port and the Japanese port. And how many vessels are called some Japanese port and the Chinese port that links. Okay, that is, I've selected the 25 ports in the ESER region. And that is some visually you can see the networking. Also you can see number of vessels connected with the ESER, all of the connections between ESER. MSR stands for Maritime Silk Road. Also it's very interesting because which shipping companies called in ESER, how many ships, right? That is very interesting data. Most of the majority is COSCO shipping. This is also, after I tested my model and then we validated our test result with the real data, right? So that is, you can see the real data of Korean marine transportation companies. Okay, I would like to claim what's the contribution of our research. And the first is connectivity measurement. Okay, and the interaction between maritime service systems using centrality, primary flow, cluster interactions, and then we can identify the primary port, primary flows, and the mutual impacts, top 20 port or top 10 port or something. Okay, so actually I'd like to spend more time. It's very interesting discussions apart, but time limit I'd like to skip, right? That is 6 stakeholders. Each country has their own policy issues, right? And then some issues, conflict or harmony between Russia's East policy and the Belt and Road Initiative, right? And then, what about the competition, port competition between Shanghai port and Busan port because of the Belt and Road Initiative issues? That is another very interesting issues. And then, Arctic shipping I will skip. And then that is the first questions. Is Busan port free from the impact of Belt and Road? And the last question, which sea ring, the Yellow Sea ring and the East Sea ring, which has a better connectivity with Belt and Road? Right? That is issues. Research limitations and further studies. Okay, that is my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let me explain, sir.
Yeah.
Let me 30 seconds. That is some, I have presented all my test results to validate, and that is issues OBOR, RMIT organized last year, and then that is, I arranged a special issue for top journals, right? Now it's coming out one by one. And then there is another OBOR campus in New Zealand, and that is also, we have had a workshop with the Busan Port Authority to testify, to validate our test result. That is a good result. That is a CIT speech, and also Ina University, and also Sri Lanka speech. Okay, 감사합니다. 谢谢, arigatou gozaimasu. Spasiba, kaman, and this.
Terima kasih. I started to hate my role as a chair. This was a very new food for our thought. So very interesting, but please keep in touch with Professor Teo Lee in order to consume further this food. I will invite Professor Itakura Ken, who will present his paper entitled The Welfare and Sectoral Adjustment Effects of Mega-Regional Trade Agreements on ASEAN Countries. Please welcome him with a warm round of applause.
You can press control. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share the research result. This is a joint work. I've been working with Hirori at Osaka University. And my topics today is welfare and sectoral impact coming out from the mega regional trade agreement, and then especially looking at the ASEAN countries. But of course, Japan's result and China's result and Korea's result included in a paper. It's working. All right. So let me introduce a little bit. These are motivations. I've been working on simulations to estimating potential TPP impact, and I'm spending several years to do that. But we are shocked, of course, by the announcement of President Trump. The first day he signed the withdrawal from TPP. But before that, many Asian countries, we are heading into the consolidation of the many FTAs, generating RCEP or TPP or FTA AP. So that's a consolidation of the smaller FTA into the bigger one. So that's the direction we are heading to, but this is just degenerating from that direction by initiative from the US. But we are seeing some kind of potential benefit coming out from consolidating different bilateral FTA into a unified framework, or because of increased trade creations, and also mitigating some costs associated with compliance with the different rules of origin and also another administration rules. Right? There's a potential for that. And given that political situation coming out from the United States, there might be a possibility for the acceleration, for the pushing outset negotiation to be faster pace. So that's one possibility we are thinking of. But at the same time, ministers from TPP 11 countries, so they are committed to pushing TPP alive, right? Even without US commitment. So that's one. And also, by now, APEC meetings they're having in Darang in Vietnam. So in our future, we are looking at even greater free trade agreements or free trade area for the Asia Pacific regions. So starting from the TPP outset or TPP minus US, TPP something US, but we are heading into the free trade agreement amongst the Asia Pacific nations. And an objective of these studies, we are using recursively dynamic CGE model to assess the potential economic impact of different sequencing. We are thinking about different four potential plausible sequencing of mega regional trade agreement. Scenario one, we are thinking about starting with RCEP, and then RCEP expanded for the membership to include Taiwan, and then eventually end up with the FTAAP. That's one sequence we can think of. And then second sequence, we tested, simulated in these studies, is starting with the TPP 11, and then TPP membership will be expanded to including several ASEAN countries and Korea as well, and then end up with the FTAAP. And then for the third scenario, we are thinking of just a hypothetical scenarios. What if US still being a member of the original TPP, and this was similar to the second scenario. And then fourth scenarios, what if we are successful to implementing RCEP at the TPP 11 at the same time, eventually end up with the FTAAP. So that's our plausible scenario we are trying to simulate in this. And I selected the literatures. We heard several presenters were mentioning about the CGE model. And then globally linked CGE model is a very useful tools to analyze potential economic impact because they are capturing all the trade, production, consumption, all the linkages among the countries by database. And then given that one database where you can simulate what if type policy questions. And then there's many papers looking into RCEP, TPP, and then there's even greater worldwide free trade agreements. And then some papers looking into RCEP and TPP potential economic impact, and then Professor Chang and Professor Zhang sitting here, and then they already were investigated in the potential impact and found the RCEP could be a little bit larger than TPP. And then for the ASEAN countries, Singapore's and then Vietnam's impact will be stands out among the ASEAN countries. Right, so what's about tools we are using for these studies? Well, there were very detailed discussions or technical details. You can go into the paper and also look into the books and also source code and so on. But we are using relatively standard recursively dynamic CGE model, which is developed by Ian Chokchin and McDougall, and which build upon standard CGE model. Well, what I mean by standard, they are including conservative assumptions about our international trade stories, starting with a constant return to scale, perfectly competitive markets, and also product differentiation by product origin, right? Which we call armed consumption. That's more standard CG model, but we incorporate some kind of a capital movement across countries, right? So that's our one advantage to using recursive dynamic models. You can simulate and then track the evolutions of the capital stock, right? And then, and also your own, so foreign capital that's generating some income to your countries, so welfare analysis accounting for that income will be important. So that's why one advantage using quantitative data. Okay? So time dimension in this study, we started from 2011 and then extended to 2035. Okay? And then calculate benchmark period of 2011 using a relatively recent version of the GTAP database, which is publicly available. So if you're interested, you can go into the data. So 140 countries data available in this GTAP database. So we are aggregating that country into the 20, right? And then 57 industries data, right? So 140 countries, 57 sectors with a bunch of data, including trade. So we are aggregating 57 sectors into 29. Okay. So to simulating the future, we have to spend a lot of time building a baseline scenario, meaning that it's a possible scenario for the future, what the future looks like. So using many international organizations estimations and projections, we plug that number into the models. And also we including some bilateral free trade agreement which already been agreed and implemented into the baseline constructions. Okay. So here comes the policy scenario. What the policy scenario looks like? Well, we